Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30-plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. Today for April 24th, 2025, I'll run through the latest gaming news that I've been playing, etc., etc. Ultronum's good to see you there. Hope everyone's doing good. So, the big thing, I think, was that, the Switch 2 pre-orders happened last night. And usually around that time, I'm asleep or falling asleep. But I stayed up, had the Best Buy app. I was going to buy it with Best Buy. We have a card there. And yeah, as soon as it came up, you pressed to then be in a pre-order line. And then the pre-order line, it got to midnight. And I was like, I'm not going to wait anymore. So I just stopped. And then in the morning, it was sold out. But I guess it's one of those where I want it. I want the Switch 2, but I guess not that much. It's more of if I can go get it, I'm going to get it. But the thing is, I really want to play Mario Kart. That is the only thing. Like, yes, I want to do the upgraded Tears of the Kingdom. That's going to take some time to play through anyway. But it's really Mario Kart. And in fact, that Donkey Kong game that's coming, I think it's like a month or two later. Hopefully then there'll be some stock to get it. And that's kind of like I think the first Switch, I got it when it came out. But like the Xbox One, the PS5, even the 380 Ti, I wasn't able to get those on release and I had to wait. But luckily, there's not like a main thing that I want to play right away. If it was a mainline Mario, that might give me some FOMO. But it's mainly, I guess it boils down to more that this is like this new handheld coming from Nintendo that, is more advanced. It's like Nintendo is in a position where they can revolutionize what the mainstream handheld is. And so from that perspective, I'm really interested in checking it out. But just like with the PS5 and the Xbox, I think what it is like you'll get notified through wherever online, like, hey, it's going to be on sale again. Or up for pre-order, and then I'll just wait and do that. Do you see the new Predator trailer? Yeah, I did. It's pretty cool looking. I know it's weird how they do the designs with the Predator, but I do like it better than the Prey design. I think the Prey design went too far from what we know of the Predator, which is fine. It could be another species. The most interesting thing to me in that Predator Badlands trailer is the fact that there's a truck that had Wayland Yutani on the side of it, and that human girl character might just be an android because her eyes flashed white at one point. So this could be sort of an Alien versus Predator type thing going on. We'll see. Okay. Let's get into what I've been playing. Let me hit the refresher. Oh, yeah. First up, Clair, Obscur, Expedition 33, 7 minutes. Yeah, I actually just started playing it this morning. I was surprised how little I get. What am I trying to say? Not dialogue, but cutscenes, like stopping me. There was a main cutscene at the beginning, but then I got right into gameplay where it was me walking around and you're talking with the character as they're like saying, "Oh yeah, come here," and then it's a tutorial. It's like tutorializing the beginning through narrative. And so far, running around with the characters is cool. The world looks cool. There's a grappling hook ability, which is the main first thing you learn to use, and then the combat. Again, not my type of combat because it's turn based. You see the enemy, it stops. It's okay. Right now, I've been playing SDG Generation Eternal, and that's turn based. But I feel like within turn based combat, I think it's like this with any game's combat system. Within the turn based combat, there's different ways that it could be done. For me, with like SDG Generation Eternals, because I have this whole battlefield and I have multiple units, and I know all their like different ability. It's almost like an RTS slowed down. Whereas something like Clair Obscur, so far, it's really just like, it's weird because it's turn based. You take turns pressing, okay, I'm going to attack. But then you have B to dodge and RB to parry. So as you're waiting for the other person to attack, you could dodge, you could parry, but it's just weird because it's a mix of turn based and real time. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Set up the universe. Yeah, I hope that's the plan with that. But I'm curious if you guys are gonna play Clair Obscur, because I don't know if I would play it anymore, but I know it plays like a traditional JRPG, so you guys might be into it. I'm not too sure. We've seen Top Knots, but the dread still came from the side. No, you're right. They did it where they kind of shaved the side to do a unique, and I think that works actually for a different Predator haircut, hairstyle, if that's what that is. Okay. So something else. There's this game, Natsuki Chronicles. This was on sale for 99 cents a few weeks ago, and I just never jumped in, and I gave it 21 minutes yesterday and had a lot of fun. This is a very, and I know Ultronymous, I think you mentioned it to me before, but this is a very well done high-end horizontal shmup. It takes from Gradius, R-Type, Thunder Force, and kind of mixes them, and it makes a unique leveling system is a mix of all of them. The enemy encounters, or the way the enemies, it's a mix of all of them. The graphics are good. The music is great. This is a surprisingly well done game for it being a shmup with an anime girl on the cover, and it's saying Natsuki Chronicles, which no one would really know what that means unless that is something that I don't know, because I don't know. But this is a very well done shmup. Okay, and then Onimusha Warlords, I was playing some more yesterday, and it's amazing how much comes back. Like, I don't know when I played this. I think it came out in the early 2000s. It must have been around then, but to where I never played it again, because it's like, oh my gosh, what was... Because I remember it was this, and then I think it was the third Onimusha game, where it had that French actor also. That was the last one I remember playing. So I feel like that makes sense, because that would have been the order. Let's see. Tempest Rising. I was playing some yesterday, wasn't I? This game is still so good. It's my game of the year. It's doing RTS the way I love RTSs. Can't believe how good it is. So what's interesting about how good it is, there is one thing that I think stops it from being incredible, and that is what is so good about it. What is so good about Tempest Rising is that it is mimicking what someone would love about Command and Conquer. But I think because of that, it doesn't really have its own identity. I think that's a very interesting thing. It's like Command and Conquer. We need a new Command and Conquer. But a developer into Command and Conquer RTSs could be influenced enough to make his own RTS, or her. That doesn't mean, though, it plays like Command and Conquer. So what the Tempest Rising devs really did here is like, no, we're going to make a Command and Conquer. You could say this is Command and Conquer 2025. Like, officially EA, because I think they still have the Command & Conquer license, was going to release a new Command & Conquer. And if it was this game and they just said Command & Conquer 5 or something, I think we would all be going crazy, because then they would have nailed it. It's just interesting. Instead of the green Tiberium, you have the red Tempest. It still damages. There's still weapons. It just carries it over. It has that third faction. It was the Skrin in the Tiberium story in the lore. In this one, it's the Vedi, which are more of like an occultist, Lovecraftian style bad guy, which is a really cool idea. So, yeah, Tempest Rising, game of the year so far. Jean Reno. That's right. Jean Reno. Let's see. Unwitch 3 had Jean Reno, which this year he said he wants to pop back up again. What? Oh, did he really say that? He referenced Onimusha? Wow. That is pretty cool. Huh. Yeah, and then the actor too that plays the main character in Onimusha, I forget his name, but he is a Japanese actor. There's this game called Returner, a Japanese movie. The Returner. I think it was called The Returner. Yeah, Takashi Kaneshiro. Yeah, this is a movie. When did it come out? This came out in 2003. Either I still own it on DVD, and it was this DVD, or I sold it when I did a mass exodus of selling my physical media like over 15 years ago. And I kept like 99% of my imports and the hard to find stuff, but I did not see Returner among it. And this is a cool time travel movie. I don't remember it, except that I thought it was cool. Because this was a time back when I was living on my own, and I just remember ordering Japanese movies, DVDs. And that's funny, because it's not like I know what the movie is. I would just see a movie from Japan that I can import, and I'd be like, this looks cool. I'd order it. And yeah, you never know. You never know with that stuff. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Returner from your aunt's bootleg collection. Wow, that's pretty cool that you said that around the time Onimusha 2 Remaster was announced. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. I think Onimusha 3 is a game that, if not a remaster, then at least a re-release. Although you could remaster, even though at the time it looked really good, it was still, barred from high res, so that it could still use a remaster. Very cool. All right, let's move on to some news. There wasn't that much interesting news, I think, because of all the Switch 2 stuff going on. But I thought it was interesting. Gal Guardian. So this is the Metroidvania that I was super excited about. I played it and then was very disappointed. It's interesting that there's a news article about this game getting an update. Either they are pushing it, the developer, publisher, or maybe the writers are just into this game, because I think it's a cool developer. I think it's a cool. The concept here should have worked 100%, and it didn't. And I'm very fascinated by it. So reading the update, here is one of the main issues with the game that I had, and they're actually addressing it in an update from a small game that was, this news item was pushed. Anyway, I just feel it's weird, but good. I don't know what I'm trying to get at here. But you can now teleport to the most recent tea table used. With this feature, you can more easily resume your journey after visiting Maxim Castle. Here is the issue with that. The castle was kind of like your hub area, and you would get to a point in the game when you're traveling that you would get things that you actually need to take back to the hub area. Now, you can find the teleporter areas to teleport you back to the hub area. But then you can't teleport back. You have to walk or explore to the next place. Yeah, it's easier when you get the dash and the double jump, if I'm thinking of the right game. But it was towards like, it's not even fun. These levels aren't even fun enough in their design that I would feel like traveling from the castle back. So I'm not going to do that. I uninstalled the game. We talked about this. So the fact that that is the number one update on here means that they know it, they get it. So the possibility of me replaying the game is high up there. Another one, let's see. Counter of Maxim Bones remaining added to an area map. The Maxim Bones are a big deal because they're your leveling up system, but it wasn't clear about that. So having to where now you can see how many are in a certain area, then it makes it more clear my progression. Let's see. Item lock feature added in inventory. Okay, that makes sense. New icon for upgraded sub weapons, making them easy to distinguish. That was another issue I had with the sub weapons, where I would look at them as there were so many, but most of them it was like the same icon, but they would have different features, and some would be upgraded. And so okay, and there was a 1.2. I don't know if I had saw that. A new in-game achievement system. Oh, that's Nintendo Switch. This might have been a previous update, but I don't know. I want to get back to this game because it does a lot of what I like. It's a straight up Castlevania style Metroidvania. Just the thing holding me back again was the exploration design in terms of when you unlock fast travel, it just doesn't make sense. And then the level design is just not fun, so I didn't care to travel. It would be, if I remember correctly, it was like a lot of just empty areas. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this sounded neat. Neon-drenched rhythmic beat-em-up game, Dead as Disco, reveal trailer. So let's take a look at this. I never heard of this, I don't think. So I like how it's about music and a beat 'em up. Wow. Oh, I like this. Wow, I like this. You know, as much as I like oh, here's like a side scroller view. Wow. So, you know, I like music and rhythm games, but sometimes I'm really particular with music, and it's like I would rather be able to play music I would want to this. You know what I mean? It is very interesting how particular I am about music. I feel like the music I consume is similar to the food I digest. Like if it's of high quality and it's not too much. I know it sounds weird. I used to listen to metal all the time, constantly. And I don't know, I've kind of grown out of that, and I've realized and also kind of related the whole mindset with the vinyl record, placing it down, playing it, being more deliberate with my music choices. And I don't know. Interesting. Not gaming related, that would be a music thing. So, real quick though, to look at this, let's look at the Steam page. To be announced, I'm going to add to wish list. That's very cool. And so here's the other thing too, when it comes to games that have the special gimmick, how much of the game is just the gimmick and how much of the game is a very interesting concept that embodies this gimmick, you know? Like it could be, you know, like DDR, the brawler be mentioned. Like if it really was where then you'd start a map and then it's just like, okay, here's the thing, and then it ends. And then the next one, like DDR levels, then that might be boring. But if it's like, it doesn't have to be open world, but stage based, there's like a sense of progression in this world I'm in. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. I found this interesting. Discord CEO and co-founder Jason Citron steps down, but it could just be he's been doing this for so long. Building Discord over the last decade has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I bet, because I feel like Discord had really just came out of nowhere and just took over. I'm hearing people mention Discord that don't play games. And this has been the case actually for a while now, but I don't think a lot of us realize that because it was the place to come to talk games, you know. And I wasn't using it that much. I remember I made a Discord server for Blue Gamer, which exists. There's a link below. Please join. It's small right now. I'd like to get it bigger eventually, but it was just for me and my brothers to chat. You know, we have a little private room in there. And then I forget what was one of the original. I think back when Reset Era, before Reset Era became a thing, when people were moving from NeoGAF, that was a Discord I was a part of because I was part of like trying to get Reset Era off the ground, but there was a lot of behind the scenes shenanigans I didn't want to be involved with, so I backed out of that. And then, oh yeah, Discord blowing up during 2020, yeah, from COVID. And then, you know, what's the best way for people at home that want to talk? And then yeah, there's Discord. So it's crazy this journey I've been on with Discord and how it's just become bigger. It's almost like when Twitter first started, 2006. I remember specifically in my first house, in my room, and I just remember it was Major Nelson, Larry Erb from Xbox, on his blog saying, "Hey, I just signed up for this new thing called Twitter, and we can, you know, share things about video games." And I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah, let's do that." And then look how far that's come. I had a friend who became big in Reset Era and changed his entire personality as a result. Yeah, okay, interesting. Autonomous, interesting that you bring that anecdote up because I think that explains what I was seeing. People were wanting to distance themselves from NeoGAF to have their own little group. And my perspective from that was, yeah, NeoGAF can sometimes get a little, you know, a little too much. Maybe we can, and I've found that it's just not possible. But it's like maybe you can start up another like side website or whatever, and then the same things were happening. This happened back in the 2000s. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Evil Avatar. That was one of the original like gaming blogs that was huge. I was a part of that. And then even that was early on, and that would even get me to act a certain way on the message boards too, and you know, argue and fight. And then I was like, I got to back off. And then they made a new site called Colony of Gamers. And I remember at first I was like, well, I'm not really gonna. I haven't been posting on Evil Avatar, but I'm not necessarily gonna go to Colony of Gamers. I don't want to. It's kind of that thing with Reset Era. It's like I'm afraid to just say I'm going to be a part of a group, and then they stand for something I'm not cool with. But those were cool people, actually. Colony of Gamers, that website, I'm pretty sure it's still up, but those people were really cool. Yeah, I think there's a lot of toxicity. And what I think really happened is NeoGAF being a big gaming forum for a long period of time, being its own thing, obviously has this little subset of toxic individuals. And I think what happened was there was an intolerance of that, I think, through the 2010s, to the point where then people would make their own little splinter things. And Reset Era just ended up being one of those splinter groups. There are good people there, though, that I do know that were part of founding it, and they are good people. But, you know, I try to avoid that stuff. But back to this topic, which was kind of related. We're talking about ways we're communicating via gaming. So let's see. I was trying to get anything else out of this. It doesn't seem like there's anything interesting other than, you know, this guy, Jason, had built something pretty amazing. And probably by this point, he's probably like, yeah, I've done my thing. I'm going to move on. That's cool. All right, the Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn DLC launches in May. Totally forgot about this. I love the Division games in a way to where I don't think they are like hype machines for me, but they are. You want to play a game that is well made, here you go. You jump into the Division and it just feels premium. And I mean, that's a Ubisoft thing. That's a not Motive. That's EA. You know, the guys that did Avatar and Star Wars. You know, these guys. It might have their name in here. I'm pretty sure it starts with an M. Let's see. It features 10 to 12 hours of campaign content. Wow. I wonder if I'm going to download and play the Division 2 again. I was excited about that, like, Homeland or Homefront DLC that was supposed to come out next year that they ended up canceling, and it was a survival thing where it was in the suburbs and you would drink water to survive. That sounded really awesome. But hey, you know, we don't know what was going on behind the scenes necessarily. Okay, and it's $14.99, so you do have to pay for it, but that's not bad. I mean, again, I think I talked about this before. That's very similar to like expansion packs on PC games. New players will also get access to a level 40 boost, allowing them to get into the action right away. Yeah, I might already be there because did I beat the main guy? I might not even be. I played actually. Let's look that up. Do I have those stats? Because that was such a fun time. Division 2, when it was like what, the year before last. Let's see. Let's go. Oh, was I there? Yeah. So yeah, we could see the last I played Division 2 was July 15th, 2023. 19 hours, 45 minutes, which again, I feel like to me that's a lot. Once you get 20 to 30 hours, I feel like I've gotten the most out of a game. And I've mentioned that's just a personal thing. And then here is Xbox, which 2019, maybe I just started it. And then check this out. Back on the original Division, so on PS4, I played 27 hours. Xbox One, 2 hours. PS4, but through Ubisoft, 24 hours. So I don't know if that's doubling it up or there is a difference there. And then another Ubisoft 9 hours. So I put a lot of time in the original Division. And it's just, I don't know. I'm fascinated by the Division games because there's nothing about it from the exterior looking at it that, oh, this is all cool. This is amazing. But the way the game plays, it's top tier shooter mechanics. Yeah. Okay. You know what? We're getting near the end here. What I'm gonna do real quick is let's just open Clair Obscur real quick because I can play on the cloud and I think it launches it really quick. Just to kind of show, because I was like in the middle of some combat and then I was like, I'm good. Oh no. I was like, oh, it's almost time for the Bluecast. Okay. All right. Oh. So again, this is me using the cloud streaming. It does not look that great. It was weird because Avowed looked amazing. But both Oblivion that I was playing this week and this don't look that great. But you could tell the games look great. I just mean in terms of the, cloud streaming. Man, it's been so long since I've seen an Xbox login screen. I had no idea it had a jet now. Actually, yeah, that's just for the cloud streaming beta. But yeah, that's right, because you just do PC, right? Like, you just have an old laptop, I think you've talked about? Okay. All right, so yeah, I actually finished that combat tutorial, and then there's a normal trash can. Wow, that... So, looking around, this game has some sweet art direction.
I can't imagine what you're going through.
You click the left stick to switch characters. That's cool. A's jump.
33 good years.
Right triggers to run.
We've had our whole lives to prepare. We're all fine.
And, I like how big and open world it looks.
You will be.
Man, he's working all by himself while everyone's having fun. So that's the first person we see, but there's a lot over here. Curious what's around here. So here we go. Look at the crowd. But I don't think it's like open world, like dynamic. I think this is all like static and... I guess I stand here and press X. Okay. Reuniting one last time because of Expedition 33. What's this guy up to?
The scintillating Sophie. You're as gorgeous as always.
So,
You flatterer.
yeah, this game has really good
See,
visual.
headline for tomorrow.
I mean, even the camera. Anytime the camera
Will
is
the article be about?
in use, like I feel like it's not what we typically see in a video game, because a lot of times it's static, and this is moving just a little bit just to fill in the world.
Help me again, Sophie, please.
Sure. Expedition.
There we go.
I'm not the expert. Nobody really. Okay, you really.
Don't think
I wouldn't. Thank you.
it's always been a pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of like how I am when leaving a conversation. It's like, well, good. Okay. Well, we'll see you. All right. Well, then have a good day. Okay. You too. All right. You too. Bye. Yep. Yeah. That's literally what just happened. Okay.
Hey, you. You see, I just finished.
You seem like
the
a woman?
sculpture Of the legendary. This may be.
That's what he
How
said.
Could I make it better?
Yeah, I don't think we need something more menacing.
Paint it. Brilliant. I knew you were the right.
So I wonder if
Get to what I see you're wearing.
it's funny because I'm choosing things that then might affect,
But I will.
maybe not affect the world, but affect maybe what I'm seeing. Like I could come back and then that's painted, or maybe I start seeing newspapers with that title on it. I don't know. I keep wanting to click to run, which these developers should know. Everyone does that. Click to run. That's even a Microsoft phrase for distributing software or something.
My gestural costume is the best. Hey, madame, do you think the gesturals really exist?
Oh, what do I think?
Of course they. That's what I think too. One day, even if it means I'll write, and me and my little, we're tired.
Yeah, because if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, random fairy tale thing, does it exist?" It's like, actually, it could. I don't know. I couldn't be the one to tell you that something exists or not. I guess I can talk to this guy.
Oh, Sophie.
Thank you, Richard.
What a lovely smell. Was that
I could
the first thing he said to her?
It's good you're here, Sophie.
And then he's gonna ask a
My
favor?
beloved sewing teacher.
We
Oh,
are
he was a
visiting
teacher. I get it.
today, and my son and I had. He said he wants to join the expedition. I used to think it was a bad choice. I know I made a mistake.
You know, I'm in no way compelled by any of the story they're trying to tell me here.
Oh,
Don't worry.
Gustav,
For this moment.
I'm glad.
Yes.
Thanks.
See you.
Okay. Wow. I mean, seeing all the people is pretty cool. I might want to download this locally to see how it runs. It looks good on stream. I think the FPS is better on here, but all right. You know what? I think I'm going to stop there. Does it have a? I don't even know how that works. Well, actually, let me make sure. Flower market. Okay. Although I gotta say, I do like I love it when I see a world that's filled with stuff.
Oh, Luna's playing. You two would make a cute couple.
If you say so.
Oh yeah.
Or
Who's that?
maybe something already happened, huh?
Oh, is that a guitar player? That's pretty neat. Okay, I do have to go. So what I think I'm gonna do? Oh, I could probably have someone paint. I'm going to just exit. Be curious to see, like, where it save, because it didn't say save at the bottom, except for like before when I was first entering that square. So Anyway, let me do that and that and that and that. All right, so I'll look at the chat real quick. I was about to say back in my day when we had car engines heartbeat when we turned on our Xboxes. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that it is cool when these companies have their like. I'm curious what the Switch 2 will start up with. It's probably just a 2. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head out. That was a lot of fun. Thanks all for joining. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with some more. But if anyone out there has played more Clair Obscur and you have some thoughts, let me know. I'm curious if it's worth going through. I do like exploring worlds, but I want it to be mechanically explorable. I want the way I'm in the world, I'm doing things. And I think this game is more linear narratively, if that makes sense. But all right, I'm gonna head out. I'll see you guys later.